So new world record, 97 meters, and now doing a cheeky little new national record dive here now. There are a few questions in the chat, so I'll quickly answer those while she's doing her breathe up. Thomas says, rope doesn't seem totally straight. Is there some current today? There is not. What you may have seen was when Bridget came up, a lot of divers, what they'll do is they will further hold themselves out of the water by wrapping the rope, or putting their toes on the rope between their big toe and the next toe over, and basically hold on to the line in that way to sort of also support themselves and keep them up out of the water. And in doing that, they'll usually push their leg out in front of them, and that can add a bend into the rope that is not normally there. As we can see now, the rope looks totally straight. So keep your eyes on that for the next, for Marianna's next dive, and see if we can see that again. Diver CO2 says, do they wear a second skin for warmth or just a wetsuit? I mean, the water is roughly 30 degrees Celsius, so it's a little difficult to get cold here. Although that said, it depends on how long a diver has warmed up for. Divers are allowed to show up about an hour before their dive to get in the water. There are some buoys that are in the water, set to 40 meters at most. And they can do any kind of dives they want to do, any kind of hangs that they want to do. Obviously, the longer that you're in the water for, the colder you can get. Especially as a diver, you know, a lot of time is actually spent laying on the surface, relaxing, preparing the mind. I mean, we see now divers have 5 minutes that they need to be on the line before their dive begins. So generally, wetsuit is fine. Most divers here are wearing a 1.5 millimeter wetsuit. Maybe some are wearing a 3. Big maybe though.
20 down.
All right, let's take a look at Marianna's technique here. You see her legs are together, toes are pointed. You see slow arm pulls now that we're down to about 35. You see her cheeks are puffed out with her mouth fill.
45 seconds. 40 down.
And then as we go deeper and deeper, keep an eye on her diaphragm and stomach area.
50 down.
We're seeing that her stomach is being pulled in a little bit by the negative pressure in her lungs.
60.
The diaphragm is being pulled up basically into the rib cage.
150.
And the other thing to notice too is that, you know, on the surface she took a very full breath and packed on top of that.
130.
And if you've seen people dive before, you also know that it looks like her lungs are empty at the moment. That's again because as you go deeper and deeper, the air in your lungs compresses down to a very small point.
70 up.
Okay. Something that we'll notice here too is that there is very little time between her arm pulls. She's not doing any gliding here, and that's because she's still negatively buoyant. If she stops for too long, she will lose that momentum from the previous arm pull, and will actually begin sinking again, but definitely slowing down again.
40 up, diver with safety.
Just heard diver in sight at around 35 meters, so meaning that from the surface, safety divers can see our athlete from 35 meters deep, which is insane visibility. Absolutely love it.
Up.
You can see Marianna. Okay. was going to say we can see her safety lanyard attached to her ankle. We'll talk about that in a little bit. She's okay. Nice and clean. Barely breathing hard.
White card.
And a white card. So it's a new national record for France.
Next step is 85.
Beautiful dive.